Hey, how the hell are you? I'm coming in hot. I'm coming in hot today. I'm in a fantastic mood, and I am also feeling a lot of fucking feelings around what is going on in the world today. Um, the death of George Floyd, along with so many other black people at the hands of police, and not just police. Um, as my brother put it, he's like, this is an exclamation on years long, centuries long sentence of injustice and racism and white supremacy that so many people that we're all like, these are the waters that we're swimming in, and it's been unjust and fucked up for so long, and we're just seeing that like bubbling over, and there's so much grief and rage, and it's like we got to figure out where we fit and how we're going to help and add to this. I mean, I assume if you're on my channel, like, um, you're down with like social justice and not a racist fuck, and if not, like, bye. Like, um, I'm not gonna like. I think it's pretty clear what my politics and leanings are here. So welcome. Sorry, I don't mean to. This is a weird combination of like, shit's going down and shit's got to change, and also it's been an amazing day and I'm in a fantastic mood. So, hello, welcome. Don't be scared if you're new. This is a safe place. But today I do feel like I have a pretty good challenge. But let me start off with my little housekeeping stuff. My name is Amanda Gold, and I work with sober women, women in recovery from drugs and alcohol, who want to be more creative. So we're talking all things creativity, all things recovery, and also like throwing spirituality into that. And the goal is to kind of meld all those things together to support you in better mental health, more joy, more enthusiasm for life and pursuing the things you love. So that's what I'm about. I'm always tweaking my message, but that's really what I keep coming back to. It's like women in recovery, utilizing creativity and spirituality to have a more amazing life. And we call that kicking ass with both feet. So welcome. And if this is not your first time, thanks for coming back. As you know, today is Tuesday, and it's kind of a newish feature of this channel, which is called your weekly tit. That is, tit stands for Try It Tuesday. Try It Tuesdays are when I come to you with an exercise or a prompt or something you can try, and I challenge you to try it for the week. And then ideally we would talk about it. You can post about it in the comments. You can shoot me an email. That's the other bit of housekeeping. You can work with me one-on-one. I do coaching. So if you want to know more, if you want to set up a free discovery call, shoot me an email. And if you want to share how these are going for you, or if you have ideas for future videos, please share that as well. You can email me at amandagoldmakesart@gmail.com. And I would love to hear from you. So we're talking social justice. We're talking about racism. We're talking about not being silent. And so I wanted to challenge you today with today's Try It Tuesday. Today's tit is about using your voice. So what do I mean by that? I mean that especially as women, we're conditioned to be quiet. We're conditioned to be small. We're trained from a very early age to doubt ourselves. I can't tell you how many of us have gotten the message that we're too loud, we're too much. And simultaneously, we're getting the message that we're not enough, or we're not doing it right. And so there's definitely this piece that comes with living in a patriarchy and this colonization of the mind that happens. That's like, there's only one way to know things, and there's only one way to express that knowing. This is false. This is a false idea, but we're all kind of like steeped in that. And I think that because of that, we struggle with saying what we know is true, saying the things that we believe in, expressing those because we're worried about what we're going to sound like. We're worried that it's not perfect. These have been a lot of my struggles. And I just posted a Facebook post about this where I was like, fuck, like I get so insecure and so scared, and I feel like I want to raise my voice in outrage over what's happening. And as a white person, I need to like break the silence and speak out on these things and speak to my fellow white people about like what's really going on here. Like, this isn't about just one bad apple and the cops and like this black person in the wrong place, wrong time. Like, this is about systemic racism. This is about culturally sanctioned white supremacy that we all exist in and we're all a part of in some way, shape, or form. And this is about like holding myself accountable and wanting to hold other people accountable. Like, what are you doing to dismantle that within yourself? And for me, what's been coming up a lot is my fear of using my voice is part of my complicit white silence that supports this system, right? And I've justified it for a long time because it felt like, well, I can't help it. Like, I would speak out if I knew what to say. And it's like, fuck that. Like, the world doesn't need any more hand wringing around that anymore. I need to just try. And it's not going to be perfect. And I'm not advocating that like more white people just start like saying their opinions. Like, I'm not talking here about like, get out there and be loud and then just say your thoughts on it and you're so important. Like, there definitely needs to be work around this stuff that's about decentering yourself. And there is a big piece of like knowing when to step back and knowing when to elevate other people's voices and elevate Black voices and people of color, and knowing when to be quiet and silence yourself intentionally for the greater good. What I'm talking about here, it's like when you know something needs to be said, but you're muffling yourself because you're afraid of not saying it perfectly or not saying it right. This is the kind of shit that I think that we need to challenge ourselves to get over, and to overcome. And it's scary, right? Like anti-racist work has been so near and dear to my heart for a really long time. Like, it's one of the first causes I remember getting really outraged about as a child and getting in fights about and just questioning. And I remember it was the first thing that really broke my heart was when I realized like people with different color skin were treated differently. And so I've been very interested in this work. And when I first approached it, though, I was drunk and I was angry and I burnt out really super fast. And I was struggling with suicide and depression and all these things. And so I really like just thought like, I don't know what I'm saying. I don't know what I'm doing. And I idolized people that did seem to know what they were doing. So I hung out with a lot of punks and stuff who were like anarchists and political activists and stuff like this. And they were all like 10 or more years older than me. And so I'm comparing myself to people who've been doing this a lot longer. And in my mind, they were on these platforms and they were like really articulate and they were really skilled and they seemed really knowledgeable and smart. And I wanted to be like them so badly. And then at the same time, I was getting challenged at home and told to shut up and told that I didn't have a right to say the things that I was angry about. And I didn't have a way to express the anger. I didn't have a way to express the grief. A lot of what I heard when I was growing up was that my emotions were inappropriate. So it all got jumbled up into this thing where I ended up just like giving up, checking out, staying pissed about this stuff, but not feeling like I had any effective way to be part of any meaningful change. And then I almost killed myself on drugs and alcohol. And then 6 years ago, I got sober. And then I started to tend to my mental health, really heal old wounds and traumas. And then I found myself circling back to anti-racist work and other activism and stuff. And that's felt really good because I feel like now I have self-care practices. Now I have ways that I can sustain myself and keep going. Like, there's no room anymore. There's no time anymore for me to like check out for mental health, because Black people and people of color don't get a day off from this stuff, right? So the least I can do is keep taking care of myself and keep showing up as a white person. However, my next challenge now I'm noticing is this fear of using my voice because, oh, all these other people are doing it so much better. All these other people are already saying it and saying it better than me. It's like, you know what, that may be, but I still have, however small I think my platform is, that's another excuse. Well, I only have this many followers and no one's, I don't know. It doesn't matter if I have 2 people listening to me, if I have 1 person listening to me. I owe it to the world and to myself and to my brothers and sisters to practice speaking up. And here's the thing, if it makes you uncomfortable, that's okay. You're not going to get better at it unless you try it. And your voice is something like, I think about this as a creative a lot. I'm reading Lisa Congdon's book on finding your artistic voice. And it can feel so agonizing because it's like, I don't yet know what I want to say necessarily or how to say it, or I'm just so angry about it all. It all feels so stupid and sad that I just don't even know how to use the words. And that's okay too. This kind of goes, God, there's so many things I'm trying to say at once. One, the thing about artistic voice is you only figure, and this is the same with speaking or your activist voice, you only are going to find it and know it as you practice using it. So you use it, you talk, you write, you express yourself in some way. And then as you do that, you're going to get the confidence and the strength and the words and you're going to start to formulate like, this is how I talk about this. This is my piece to talk about. This is my stuff to share, right? So, and so you've got to like let yourself be imperfect at it. You've got to let yourself fuck up, and you've got to be willing to take some flack too. Like, I'm sure that I'm going to say stuff that's mistaken or maybe not totally PC or whatever. And I've decided like, I'm willing to face that discomfort again, because Black people are facing are being hunted essentially. Like they're facing discomfort every day living in a white supremacist world. So it's the least I can do for the cause to work on getting over my own discomfort. And this is why coaching is so good. Like coaching works on everything. And this piece of thought work, like, ooh, I'm afraid of how I'll look, or I'm afraid of what'll happen if someone doesn't like what I say. It's like, that's okay. That's just a feeling, and I can coach myself through that if that even happens. But I'm not going to let that be an excuse to muzzle myself or to stay silent when there's so much injustice going on. And we need good people who are on the cause of light and love, on the side of light and love, to be speaking out, okay? And I also trust that if you're here watching this, that you're a big-hearted person who cares about love, and that love is radical, and being in solidarity with people who are suffering is an important issue. And so we need to learn how to use our voice and to add it to the chorus and create this uprising so that we can create a safe world for everyone. So, yeah. Oh, and also I mentioned about how sometimes it feels like the grief and the rage is so big that words don't even come out. So that's okay. This is other ways of knowing, right? This is part of how we decolonize our minds, is understanding like, it's okay if for you to just make a noise or to make a gesture. If something fucked up is happening and you don't like it and you know that it's wrong and it's not sitting well in your soul and in your heart, you're allowed to just say, you know, and then like explain it later, or draw a fucking picture about it, or sing a song about it, or make sounds about it, perform it out. Like there's so many ways that you can use your voice too that's not just like language. But today's Try It Tuesday is really an invitation for you. If you're someone that feels like you've got something to say, and it doesn't necessarily have to be around anti-racist work, although today I really want to challenge you, especially if you're white, to look at that. I know so many white people that are just afraid to admit that they have anything to work on in themselves. It's all out there. And I think that's a huge part of the problem. And I want to say this with so much love, but like it starts within, okay? Like what can you do? What can you look at? What are some small things you can change? Can you read something? Can you educate yourself? Can you just get out of your comfort zone a little bit and just see where you've been complicit or part of the thing, and then just work to change that. Like there's no blame here. There's no finger pointing other than just like, hey, these times are critical and this shit isn't going away, and we don't want to see any more murders. Like we gotta see what we can do to help. So I really would challenge you to keep this focused on anti-racist work, and I want you to practice using your voice today. I want you to practice this week speaking out against, speaking out for, speaking out in love about what you believe, about what you see, about what you feel, about what is going on. This isn't about like you having to come up with like this brilliant blog post that's going to go viral and change the world. Like it matters. What I'm finding for myself is that just getting over my discomfort of even posting a Facebook post about my anger or my thoughts around this, that's good. That's me breaking my white silence. That's me practicing. That's me adding to and contributing to the cause. So yeah, I mean, even making this video, right? I'm feeling how interesting it is that I feel like, I don't have a right to talk about this. I don't know what I'm talking about. And it's like, no, fuck that. Like I'm doing my best. I do have some shit to say around this, and you do too. And we need everyone's voice. Like, it's like when you listen to a choir and all the voices kind of swell into this beautiful like third or fourth or fifth voice that exists because of all the voices singing together. And right now in these times, the world is changing, and we're being called to these radical demonstrations of love and solidarity for each other. And I think that if you're someone that tends to stay quiet, if you're someone that tends to back out, if you're someone that tends to put it out there and be like, ooh, that's an ugly situation, I don't want any part of that, I really want to challenge you to like look within and just see like what are you feeling around this, and where can you contribute, and what can you add that can help, and challenge yourself. Like it should feel uncomfortable, because the people that I want to hear are the ones that aren't talking. Like I'm not talking to the people that are already like clogging up the airwaves with their actuallys and their performative allyship, and like trying to get the gold star, whatever kind of white person they're trying to be. I'm talking about the people that like know that what's going on isn't right, but they're doubting themselves. Like I have doubted myself so many times, and I just want to challenge you to just get out there. Like just do something to join the fight, join the cause, add to the side of good some way. Use your voice this week, whatever that means to you. Write a poem about it, right? And like I said, it doesn't have to be language. Maybe it will be your artistic voice. Maybe it will be some kind of performance. I don't know, that you share. But I think it should be, I think part of the criteria be that other people can see it or experience it somehow, not just personal. So yeah, challenge yourself, and I would love to hear how it goes. As always, I want to hear how you're doing, what's going on for you. If you're digging this, if not, what can I do better? What do you need? How can I help? I'm here. So this is a big one, but I think it needs to happen. So, and I'm with you. Like I don't ever challenge you with anything that I'm not actively doing myself or willing to try. And this is something that I'm going to continue to practice through this next week till our next tit time. So again, this has been Try It Tuesday. Thank you for being here. I will come back Thursday for a new video, which is my Thursday thoughts. And that's just kind of like real-time coaching that I'm doing on myself that I think can help you as well. So again, amandagoldmakesart@gmail.com. If you have any questions or comments or anything you want to share, you're awesome. You're beautiful. Thank you for being here, and I'll see you next time. Bye.